Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining Building Point Southeast today to learn more about CrewSight. My name is Alex, and I'm the Customer Success Manager. We are joined today by Andy Rudisil. Andy is CrewSight's product development and technical sales expert. All microphones will be muted, and we will have time at the end to answer any questions. Thank you. For those of you that don't know, we are Building Point Southeast. Building Point Southeast is the Trimble authorized partner for the building construction community in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, DC, and the Maryland territory. Building Point solutions create value for our customers through increased accuracy, layout efficiencies, and improved safety.
Today we're going to talk about CrewSight, which is job site access control with workforce management. Again, I'm Andy Rudisil. CrewSight is a mature, feature-rich product that's been in the market now for many years and was created in collaboration with the construction industry. So we actually had construction personnel influencing the development of the solution. CrewSight's been in the market, open market, since 2015. It was actually originally a Trimble product, hence the relationship with the Building Point Southeast group here, but is now a part of ASSA ABLOY. So that change occurred this year. So just want to kind of tie those strings together to make sense of it all. And we're going to roll in and give you an overview of the product here today. So a little bit about ASSA ABLOY. So we're one of two components right now in the new construction division for ASSA ABLOY Global Solutions, which is part of the overall global company of ASSA ABLOY. You may recognize some of the brands of ASSA ABLOY more than you would the actual names, like Yale or HID or Ameristar and others. So we went from one global company at Trimble, now we're over here to a bigger global company with ASSA ABLOY. The thing to note here is ASSA ABLOY is focused on access control in various different components, and now we're focusing on CrewSight here today and how it relates to the construction industry. Workforce management, what is it? It's a little bit more than just giving a worker a badge. Now that's a photo ID, if you will. Managing data is where CrewSight excels. And we do that for the construction sites to give you insight to who is on your job. We're going to help you with the kind of the three big pillars of safety, security, as well as compliance. So we're going to break that down here and let's make a more sense of that. So first of all, what is the components of CrewSight as it relates to workforce management? It's going to be about the worker, aka the people. It's going to be about your job site and what are the rules for your job sites. And then the actual presence of that is the combination when workers are coming and going on your job site. As you well know, those of you that are seasoned in the construction industry, it's organized chaos from beginning to end, but with a single goal in mind, and that is to deliver a quality constructed product to your owners. CrewSight is going to be a component to that to help provide information for you easily and give you peace of mind that your workforce is took care of. Now, what does it mean to actually credential a worker? What does it mean to actually define rules? So we're going to peel this back a little bit here together. First part is understanding what are the components from CrewSight. So CrewSight is actually a software product. It's cloud-based. That includes a mobile app that accompanies with that. And then we break down that software access through roles and permissioning to use the software, giving you live information on the web UI dashboard. And that all relates back to, first of all, issuing a badge to the worker. We call it here a consumable on the screen. So that becomes their tangible photo ID. That's an intelligent photo ID. It's not just a simple card. So now we have software to manage data. We have an ID component for the worker. Now we're going to control the access using various technology devices, whether it be a handheld device, whether we're controlling doors of the building, or we're controlling actual access of the fence line through perhaps a turnstile. So that's kind of your key components: software, worker ID, and then the access control pieces. So since it is about the worker, first of all, how we even capture this information from the beginning. One of the easy ways we do that is by completing a form online. Well, that could be remote, or it could be at your job trailer. Now, there's different ways to do that. We're not going to make it a training session today, but we'll touch a little bit on some of these details. So, do you have NDAs, safety agreements? What does your company put forth? So we want these workers to be able to, e-sign these documentations, so we have a timestamp that, yes, this was reviewed with you individually as well as your company. So that helps everyone be on the same page from a compliance standpoint. We'll provide that information in both English and Spanish. Well, other languages are possible, but their default included in the software is the English and Spanish. We allow workers to enter their own information. Now, before you panic, we minimize where they can key in information. Obviously, if it's their name, we want them to have a free text box to type that in. But perhaps for their company, that'll be handled down a pull-down list. So we do make the form very simple, very quick for the workers to complete. Again, we recommend this to be done on a tablet because of those mentioned signatures if needed. We want to give you the opportunity to provide the proper documentation to the workers, to help you issue your requirements as well as the owners. What demographic information do you need? Is there government funding that's involved? That brings a whole nother set of reporting that's required. So CrewSight is actually going to be that for you. But do things in bulk, absolutely. We have multiple ways to enter worker information to do that in mass. Again, this can be done at the subcontractor's office. This could be done remote from the job site. So when the worker shows up, their information is already captured. Now, they're not permissioned to come on the site yet. They don't have a working badge, if you will, or ID card. But all of that data collection has been done. And that's usually what takes a lot of time. So this way, when they show up to your safety trailer to do site safety, they're focused and they're paying attention to that message, which is extremely important, versus writing stuff down on the clipboard. So now that we're capturing worker information, that also helps you apply your compliancy. So now that we have data, what do you want to do with that data? So CrewSight, beyond just that front end, will give you information that you can use at your fingertips through the mobile app in the field. So if you have the sad situation where there is an incident, obviously you would activate your emergency response. But then what about the secondary response level? Do you want to contact their foreman? Or what about an emergency contact name and a phone number? CrewSight will help provide that information for you readily and easily. So mobile app or web UI, you have many ways to slice and dice this information. So that way you have it and you're ready to execute upon the plan. Productivity. Because we know who is here and we can see that information live, whether it be the web or the mobile, we know we have the proper documentation through the onboarding process. Now we can actually look at the data and we can do things like reduce wage theft. So we can we can accurately report, we had 10 people here working over the weekend versus, perhaps maybe a mistake in the billing that came from the subcontractors. So it's a way to audit the information based off of real data. It also gives the opportunity to look ahead. If weather has impacted you and you see that a 10-person crew is not going to get you across the finish line, you can have those conversations with the subcontractors saying, need you to double up. You're going to ramp up your staff because we got to make up for some lost time. Again, it's information available. And since it's digital information, we offer integrations such as like pushing the labor reports automatically into a Procore daily report or a similar type system. We can access weather information as well. So it comes down to a lot more questions and answers here to setting, but the information to have that conversation is available. The fundamentals of how it all works. So we have a worker, they've been credentialed on the job. This job, for example, is an 18-month-long project. So when the worker first registered and entered the job site, they were fully compliant with all the information gathered at that time. But during that duration of those 18 months, something has expired. CrewSight is going to keep up with this information. And this particular expiration date is critical. You know, it's a company policy. So to protect your company, from risk, CrewSight will actually apply that rule and deny entry to this worker because they have fallen out of compliance. Now, CrewSight has means to help you be proactive and looking ahead so this couldn't have happened, but sometimes things happen and that worker just did not get that information corrected or updated. So CrewSight is going to deny their entry. They were just here yesterday. They're being denied today because the data has expired. Worker makes the corrective behavior. It's a simple modification to the worker profile, and now they're back to transacting and coming and going on the job site. All actions, even the one where they were breached or denied, is time-stamped into the software. So that way you have all the information, down to even to the minute. So CrewSight is going to be that automated security secretary, if you will, even safety patrol person, all wrapped up in one. Now, I want to educate a little bit about one of the unique things about CrewSight, and that is going to be our technology. We use UHF RFID. Okay, that's pretty letters, but what do they actually mean? So UHF is simply an abbreviation for ultra high frequency. RFID is simply the type of radio system being used. Why is that important in CrewSight? Because it gives us the ability that ultra high frequencies is a strong frequency, so we can do long range scanning, 30 feet. Well, 30 feet doesn't sound like a long way, but when it comes to radio waves and actually scanning worker information, it actually is. Because now I can do things in mass because of the speed at which I can scan. I mean, 1,200 tags or badges, or pretty much per second. You can't fit 1,200 people into 30-foot space. So we're able to take attendance during an emergency situation. If you've corralled your folks to a mustering point, we can capture that information quickly to know that we can get it all clear on our site. If we don't get it all clear, with the ease of the mobile lab, I can quickly determine who is left behind. See a picture of them. What information do I have about this person that I can pass on to the emergency response team that's coming in? Because as a retired emergency response person, it's life first. And a little, maybe a less known fact from the emergency response side of things, it takes 6 emergency responders to rescue 1 worker. So if emergency response arrives to your scene and you've got 3 people unaccounted for, and there has been some type of uncontrolled incident where people are at risk and likely injured, then as the leader of the emergency response team, I know how much more help I'm going to have to call in. So I hope you've never had to go through an emergency situation, an injury situation on the job site, but it does happen. And I encourage you to please be prepared and take all drills seriously. And that's the other thing that CrewSight can help you with. Even whenever you're running drills, you can fully execute that accountability system. Now, on a lighter note, you're doing your stand-up safety talks, you're doing toolbox talks, any type of meeting, if you will, you can utilize the same information to simply take attendance. That way you have it documented. Yes, this group of people heard this message, but these few were out for whatever reason they didn't. So let's get that addressed to make sure everyone on our site is in the know. So is that the original design intent of CrewSight or what you typically want from a system like this? No, but it's the residual benefit of having CrewSight. It's more than just, are you here or are you not? There's many different ways it makes your life simpler at the general contractor level. Speaking of safety, so weather is a big key factor to construction. So how do we push out information in mass? Well, we have that ability in CrewSight, both in the mobile app as well as in the web UI. You can actually send out mass communications. We have SMS texting, and we have different ways that we could even filter who we send that information to. Even going so far as actually be able to deliver a message in a written form or a written language that's more applicable to the worker. Okay, so that way we're meeting people at an efficient level. The beauty behind this is it's live and it's a premium system. Why is that important? Well, if you have lightning in the area, you can't have that message metered. Now, oftentimes, cellular carriers, if you try to send more than 15, 20 messages, they'll meter that, and so it'll be delivered at different times. That's totally inefficient when it's a safety situation. So CrewSight has addressed that by creating a premium methodology to get those delivered. All of those messages will be delivered within 2 minutes. Typically, it's actually 1 minute. And it doesn't matter if there's 100 workers or some of our job sites, we're talking thousands of workers receiving this message. So it is a tried and true. Like I said, we've worn the tool belt for a while. So our system has been tailored to the construction needs. Additionally to that, I've already touched on this a little bit. If someone tries to breach an area, say you have a hazmat controlled space, properly trained people are only allowed to be entered there. CrewSight can apply those permissions, and if someone tries to breach an area, you can get this information text to your staff so that appropriate reaction can be placed. You could go have that corrective conversation with the person who attempted to enter an area they should not. Additionally to that is all about the reports. How do we get the information utilized? Well, CrewSight keeps it simple. So we're going to deliver to you an Excel report. Either you can do it on demand, meaning you run the report now, filter information, pick what you need, or if it's a regular report, something you can schedule and plan for, CrewSight will automatically deliver that report to you. Not only to you, but even to non-CrewSight user accounts. We say that differently. You have permission to use the software. So yes, you can get the report. But what about a safety director or an admin back at corporate or a branch office? They have nothing to do with the software. They too can receive that report, saving you having to write an email. So we're going to find ways to make your life simpler as best we can. A little bit more here, and we'll wrap it up. The web UI. So quick little feedback. Again, CrewSight is cloud-based, so you don't need a server. You don't have to deal with computers on your job site, or, interconnectivity, Wi-Fi, firewalls. we keep it simple, so no IT is needed. All you got to do is be able to you just got to log in through a web browser. The ones we support are Google Chrome and Firefox. Yes, it'll work on Edge and Safari, but we advertise it's recommended for Chrome and Firefox. I already mentioned it's role-based. What does that really mean? That means based off your permissions is what you can or cannot do in the software. Because everybody doesn't need to have all the keys to the kingdom. So we can narrow down transactional actions, say, perhaps as a guard. They're more focused on just scanning people coming and going and denying entry, being the muscle to apply the rules for the site. They're not necessarily issuing workers or adding companies. So again, role-based. And then reports, again, it's client controlled. You're in control. So you can pull this information. You don't have to submit a ticket. You don't have to phone a friend. It's designed for you to make changes and leverage the software how you see fit for your job site. And again, the information is live. A little bit about the mobile app. Again, permission-based. So not everyone needs the mobile app. So you can control that information. You get updates of the information in one click. Right now on the screen, we're showing our demo here showing 116 workers on site. Sometimes that's all you need before you walk into a meeting or during a meeting. Quite the benefit. I'm going to wrap it up here a bit and get into some of our Q&As. We wanted you to put this up here just so you know you're not alone. You're not the first. We have many projects nationwide. CrewSight is a North American product, and so we can cross the borders. Even technically, we're going international to be determined or to come on that. The message here is simply, if you need a referral to a peer in your industry, we can help provide that. CrewSight is a feature-rich, construction-friendly, easy-to-use system. And with that, leave it out with just kind of a closing comment. So thank you for your time.